they get inside, and we're starting James Wiseman for no reason. Like,
Well,
I want to tune into games feeling like there's a purpose, even if they lose. Even if they lose by 20, I want to feel like it's because the other team just beat them, not because they came into the game unprepared and not expecting to win. That's all.
Yeah.
This season to me is kind of like where the Lions were a year ago. Like, I expect them to start slow because they've got a lot of new pieces, like you said. But I expect them to improve, and I expect them to look like some team with a future by the end of the season, even if they don't make the playoffs.
Something that Troy can properly augment, because adding veteran players to a core that's not, like you say, getting the plane off the ground will be just like adding Jeremy Grant back to this team when they did not have the assets and the young core necessary that he could augment. So that I 100% get. And I do hope that this young core proves something. I can already see if something happens tonight where everyone, if they lose badly, if they lose by 10, if they lose by 5, I can hear all of the fans say, they already suck. And it's just
it's one game out of 82. Let's
not overreact, but that's asking a lot.
We don't need the overreactions.
Yeah. All right,
there we go. We took us straight. Even an arrow, so you can't miss it, where it says clearly over under.
I'm here to help people. I'm passing along information so people can enter this contest and not get lost on the way. And thank God, in the last year we reclaimed DetroitPistonsForum.com instead of all those numbers that that were in the address. That was very confusing.
What's up, Petey?
Sorry. I didn't hear it. So we're picking up on part 2. We did the first 12 questions on last week, and we've got about 3 hours and change before tip-off, before the last chance you can get in on this contest. So do you want to just jump into the next category? And welcome, Lexi.
Hello.
Yeah, I figured we just jump in, and some of them we can talk about, and others, JD, just for the sake of time and us getting it through, we just give our answers and keep it going.
Got it. Okay, and also, since I did come up with this, all the categories about a week ago, some of them have become easier than they were. Now that a couple of players are out for extended periods of time. But let's go on to the first question of our second half. If I can get to that. There. How do I do that? Oh, I got to jump on that screen. That would help. There we go. So this one might get a little tougher because he's probably going to get some more minutes than maybe we expected last week. We'll see.
You could get that tonight.
He might do it tonight. Most threes. So the line is 5.5.
Ooh.
Yeah, I actually suggested that if I were Monty, I would strongly consider starting Joe Harris tonight, simply because Miami plays so much zone, and he is the ultimate zone killer. Look, I think tonight is actually going to be a pretty good indicator, because if they really feel like he can contribute, he will play a lot tonight probably, or at least as much as they feel his legs can give them. But long term, I think, look, Joe Harris, you can say what you want about his physical condition. Even last season, he was still one of the best volume 3-point shooters in the entire league. In this team, which everybody has been screaming from the rooftops, does not have spacing, especially with Bojan gone. They will absolutely be relying on Joe Harris if he's able to go. So I would comfortably hammer the over on this.
Yeah, that was succinctly handled. He explained that very well.
Yeah. Agreed.
All right. We'll just jump right to the next one. Yeah, that one became a lot easier, I think. Times the Pistons hold their opponent under 43% field goal percentage. And I believe they did it like maybe 9 times all of last year. So we're hoping that the defense is better this year. And that's why I made the line just a little bit higher. So if they can.
They did it how many times last year?
It was like 7 or 8, I think.
I'm gonna take the over on this. I'm gonna have a little bit of positivity.
All right. Anyone else?
Look, I
gotta go.
I want to say under because I think they're going to struggle. I think they're going to get worse this season before they get better, which kind of flies in the face of everything I said earlier about needing to see improvement. But look, Monty, and look, it's not just Monty Williams. He's got a really good staff, especially Dan Burke, who has been masterminding top 10 defenses since the early 2000s. Like he was coaching under Larry Bird, I think, at one point. But yeah, I think this team, if they're going to succeed at all, it's going to be on the defensive end of the floor. So I side with Lexi on this. I would like to see the over.
I actually like that explain. Man, Keith is like swaying me right now, man. He's swaying me. He's the voice of reason right now.
See the light.
I get that. They were so bad last year. So if they did it 7 or 8 times last year, you would assume if they take any marginal step forward, you add in Asar Thompson, you get K back, your backcourt is effectively 6'6", 6'7" with like 7-foot wingspans apiece. Let's get it, man. Let's get it. Full season of Stewart and Duran, hopefully. They should be able to do that a little bit more than last year.
All right. Next up, Pistons named to the all-rookie first team. First team, got to be first team. Is anybody going to make it?
Asar, I believe, has a great chance. And I think we're going to see those shades of it early. There's not a lot that I'm going to really that I think we can take from the early part of the season, except for what we do see from guys like Asar Thompson. I do. And that all-around skill set, that kind of able to rebound, I think that along with any types of points, if he's averaging a double-double, I think he gets there. I think he will.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Asar,
I think him if anyone.
I'm sorry. Go on, Lexi.
No, I was just saying, like, if it's gonna be somebody, it is gonna be him. I like the 0.5. So there's gonna be one.
All right.
My only hesitation with Asar is I think he's going to get a lot of minutes, more than almost any rookie. But my hesitation is he's not really a scorer, and a lot of these guys go with the numbers, the people that vote. So I don't know. Like he would probably have to average a double-double to get strong consideration, like double-digit points, double-digit rebounds. Have a tremendous defensive season. If he makes the all-rookie first team, it's going to be through very unconventional means versus what we're used to. I don't think – like I think that's a really, really high bar. So I'm going to have to say under.
Okay.
Ivy and Duran made, second team last year. And
Yeah.
I could see him putting up similar stats to Jalen Duran.
All right. Next up. Sorry. I got a little crazy with graphics. Game winners in the last 5 seconds, and this one we're going for the line is 1.5. So will they get 2 or more, or only 1 or less? I think they had. Didn't they have Sadiq had 1 last year? So I think that was the only one.
Yeah.
The irony in that photo is he's on the court with Brooke Lopez. So
I was dreaming big there.
They were down 20.
I intentionally found one involving a good team, but I'm hoping for the best.
It's gonna be the game winner this year, Keith. Right? I got some
Manifestation.
But look, JD. I will say this. I think if you were to like set the odds on who is most likely to hit a game winner, obviously Cade would be first, but I think right under him might actually be Jaden Ivey. Because I think there's going to be some plays at the end of the game where they're going to space out. They're going to let Jaden Ivey, if they need a bucket, I think it's going to be Jaden Ivey spacing out and shooting rather than Cade in certain situations.
Brandon?
I got to go with the under on this one in the last 5 seconds.
Me too.
Breaking my heart.
I'm sorry.
I'm giving
You're
us
not
one.
inspiring me confidence by putting the Milwaukee Bucks on there. I'm sorry. All I'm saying is like a 20-point blowout.
Easy team.
Jaden Ivey scores over Brooke Lopez, and the Pistons close the deficit to 96-75.
Bro, I posted Cade's dunk and point And everyone was like, "Oh wow, look at the score! They're down by 25 points." I'm like,
All right. I haven't filled out my ballot yet. I'm waiting until we're done with this. I'm gonna take some advice from you guys because I was finished like in the middle of this contest. So, all right, next, Pistons All Stars. Are we gonna get one?
No.
"No, yeah, not this year."
I just not
Normal-
with like after the injury. I don't think Kate. Yeah, sad.
Normally, I would be way more elaborate than this, but look, here's the hope. I'm definitely not betting the over on this, but the hope is because no one thought Lonzo Ball would play in an All-Star game anytime soon, and then the Hornets got off to a quick start. They faded, but that's all that needed to happen was the Hornets got off to a quick start a couple of years ago. They had a really good record for the first 2-3 months of the season, which is really all you need. And Lonzo was clearly the best player. So that was enough to sneak. He may never get to another All-Star game anytime soon, but that was enough just to get him in. So it's more realistic, I think, than people think. But no, I think this is a very comfortable under.
Okay.
I don't think it's impossible.
All right. Brandon, any Kool-Aid on this one or?
Yeah, listen.
I said Lonzo the whole time. I meant LaMelo. I'm sorry.
I know.
Yeah, I can see the path, but under just because they look at team success. I don't believe that the Pistons are going to be sitting in playoff contention or even near it necessarily by the deadline. And trust me, there's people out there who say that I'm like super slappy for this team. I'm like, where are people not hearing that I'm saying 30 wins for the whole season?
Mm-hmm. All right.
I just say it nicely. That's all.
All right. So we can make other plans All-Star weekend. That's okay. Next.
No, there's the rookie.
Oh, no.
Bam. Okay. So Stu is a career like right under 33%, and his best year was his rookie year on low attempts. He was 33.3. So can he take it up a little notch? And how much did preseason affect your guess on this?
Yeah, this is really, really hard not to overreact negatively. Question. I see you got the Knicks up there, so no matter what game that was, this is a 20-point game.
So observant.
Yeah, the Knicks had our number last year, big time.
Bro, they boat raced us in preseason. They didn't care. Starters out there and everything. I'm like, stop, Tibbs, stop.
Yeah, that's a Tibbs team through and through. All right. Look, I am the card-carrying Isaiah Stewart fan on Pistons Twitter. I have been really celebrating his success for 3 years now. I know it's kind of gotten me a bad reputation at this point because a lot of people are losing faith. And I'm saying, look, the shot's going to come. It's going to happen. I know he looked god-awful in preseason shooting the ball. I think this is one of those trust the process moments. I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but it has to happen this year if it's going to happen. I am going to say the over, even though my heart is telling me the over, and I'm going to bet with my heart this time. I'm going to say he's going to shoot 34, 35%. Remember, he did have that 1 month last year before he hurt his shoulder. He shot over 50% from three for an entire month. Let's not act like this guy has never hit 2 3-pointers in a row before.
You're right on that. For the shoulder injury, he was much better. I know that the Pistons won their home opener off of a pass from Cade Cunningham to Isaiah Stewart for 3. And they beat Paolo Banchero, the Wagner brothers, and the Orlando Magic. And he actually hit a couple threes last season for the Pistons to win. I think that as long as they keep the volume under control, he has a shot. I'm going to have to – oh, my goodness. I feel dirty saying this, but I'm going to have to go under for right now.
Yeah,
I mean, it's telling me under too. It's just,
slightly
I
under.
need to believe in myself here.
All right, just slightly
under.
Okay. Next up, wins versus teams who finish the season next season with a winning record, and this. So they didn't. I just kept the line. I had this category last year. I had this line last year. They finished under. So the big question is, are they going to improve in this area? Huh?
They won 17 games all of last year.
That's true. That's true.
Your
That's
over-under on teams with a winning record is 13.5.
Well, they could be one of those teams that plays up to their competition. Sometimes
I get it. This is probably not a bad line. I'm just laughing at the irony. I'm still gonna say under. I'm gonna say that the Pistons are gonna be a well-coached team, and well-coached teams with a lack of talent, they generally perform against the lesser teams and probably lose against the good ones. So I think this is gonna be a more sane outcome. Where there's last year they only won 17 games, but they beat both of the NBA finalists on the road.
I think more than half of their wins were against winning teams, but
yeah.
That is, for what that's worth.
Yeah, I'll take the over on this one. I like the idea of spoiling the good teams.
Brandon,
I'm gonna have to go under on this one again.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Next up, okay, so this is another one that was sort of affected by recent news. 10.8 assist games for Morris, 6.5. I think he had 9 last year, but he was a starter. So should we just move under across the board, or is anybody going to surprise
under,
me?
But look, he could still hit it. We could have injuries. We could have trades. His season is going to be short, obviously. It's going to be at most a 60, 65 game season, even if he's healthy once he comes back. But, it's going to depend on where the team is when he comes back and what his situation is. Like, is he going to be the primary backup? Is Killian Hayes, does he use that opportunity to take over that backup job? Do we even have Monty Morris? Like, does Killian make Monty expendable? Is he that good? I don't know. So many things could factor into this.
Yeah. Yeah, under for now. But that's a good point, Keith.
Yeah, I'm sticking with the under on this one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We still love you, Monty. Home games where the DJ doesn't play, get back.
What up, Luda?
Yeah. I think you might be familiar with this song if you've been to a Pistons game.
I have not been to LCA in like 5 years. I didn't even know this was.
Or listening on TV.
I think I hear it like all the time, so I'm gonna go over.
And
there's nothing wrong. Yeah, that's right, Robert. Ludicrous. I love it.
Lexi, this is where he doesn't play it.
Oh.
Yeah. So you're going way under.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
Under.
Under.
Okay. All right.
I didn't hear that first.
You never know. Play-in / playoff games. Are they going to get there? And if say they make the play-in, they might win.
They'd have to win one, yeah.
Yeah. So, anybody feeling that?
No, this is a comfort. Look, I really wish I could comfortably say over, but no, it's actually the opposite. I think them just getting to one play-in game would be a major step forward. And if they get to the 9 or 10 seed and they lose the first game, everyone in Piston land is probably happy with that, and it would still not reach the over. So I think 0.5, I might sweat it out, but no, 1.5, definitely not.
Got it. All right.
Yeah, under here.
Okay.
Under, sadly.
Under. Highest scoring game for a Piston this season. 36.5.
I love the over on this. So I think last year, I think Bojan scored more than that, right? In the game last year, he had 40 in a game, I thought.
I think it was like 44, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Cade in his limited injured season had a game close to that number. I'm pretty sure he had at least one where he went off. So yeah, and look, even without those guys, I think Jaden Ivey with his increase off the bench, he's going to have a big increase in usage. I could see him going nuts one game out of 82 and hitting that number.
All right.
Yeah, I'm hammering the over on this. Give me a big game.
Gotcha. All right. And Brandon, you're same?
Yeah, no, I'm going to take the over on this one. I am. I think that Cade is going to have ample opportunity, whether this team is just about playing ready or whether the season doesn't go the way we want it to go wins-wise, to be able to have some games where he puts up some big scoring numbers. I really do, especially if they figure out this foul thing with him.
And just this isn't on the contest, but I'm just curious, does anybody want to call out what they think, who's going to be the top point getter and how many points?
I can see Cade getting a 40 piece this year. And if Bojan comes back any parts healthy, again, they're going to need – I feel like they're going to need his scoring and his versatility on the offensive end.
Cade, 46 points.
46?
Yep.
Wow. Now, I think Cade's usage is going to be so much higher than everybody else's. I logically, it's got to be Cade for the top scoring game for this season. What it could be, I'm hoping he gets his. He hasn't had a 40-point game yet, right?
I don't think he has. No.
So that'll be his evolution. I think, I could see Cade getting at least 40-plus point game where he just goes nuts and gets a triple double and wins a game by himself. I think that would be great for him
against the Bucks.
I would love to see that. So let's.
I mean, that would be nice. I would be happy to beat the Bucks by 1 point in quadruple overtime.
Yeah.
It looks like his career high was 35 points against the Hawks, October 28th, 2022.
I think that was
right.
Wait, that's last season.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that was the debut of the Teal. Or was it
that began his
Teal vibes for sure.
Or was it the one in Atlanta?
I can see Cade doing it, definitely.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, the other side. Highest scoring game for an opponent.
Just take everybody else out. Just blow up
Well, I'm not saying who's going to do it. I'm just saying.
Didn't he have like 45 in quarters or something last year at LCA?
I'm not sure. I mean, it seemed like it, but I'm not sure. I know they just torched us every time, and he was the main culprit. Yeah. So, are you saying that's
I'm going over.
Yeah. If I'm giving Cade a 40-point game, I'm damn sure going to give any of these future Hall of Famers a 40-point. At least one of them is going to go off at least once.
I feel like Devin Booker is going to. Monty Williams is here.
Yeah.
If he's trying to take over the city from afar, I could see him being the one.
Yeah.
All right. Increased role, possibly. 10.
It's another one that changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, coming into the season, I think he would have been the odds-on favorite to not play of all the guys that were in the preseason rotation. But he still might not play tonight, but I think they almost kind of have to try working him in while Monty Morris is out, even though he's not really a true point guard. And when Sasser gets in, he's going to shoot. You're going to have 3 or 4 guys watching it. He's going to shoot. When he gets in, he's going to shoot the ball. So I actually like the over on this. Last week I would have said under. Now I'm saying over.
Yep, what he said. I agree with that. And just kind of seeing how his scoring picked up in the NBA. Like, I don't care about the 40-point game in Summer League, what he actually did in the NBA, where his handles, man, though he has a lot more to improve about his game, and not like he's bad, his handles, man, get him wide open. They just do.
Yeah, I think he's going to really shine this year. Like, I think that's for sure over.
He is so good at creating space for himself. And the shot, he'll be cold, but once he makes one, he's going to make the next 4 or 5, and he creates so much space. It's I think a lot of people didn't like that pick on draft day because what are you drafting a 6'1" shooting guard for? But I think there are things about him that are very special, even in the NBA, that he's going to bring to the table in the long run.
All right. This is an either or, not an over under. So more minutes, Bags or Weissman?
That's a tough one.
I think after game one of the preseason, I definitely was leaning one way, and then things got a little more even as the preseason went on, and it's I don't know.
So I think the organization would certainly much rather James Wiseman take ownership of that backup spot and, own that for himself. But Monty Williams, I don't think is the kind of guy that's going to play favorites. I think he's just going to put in the guy that outplays the other guy. And right now, I think everyone would agree that's Marvin Bagley. Even though Bagley hasn't been terrific by any stretch, James Wiseman is just he's been way too inconsistent for the things that they would need him to do. For a backup center, you don't want a guy that's going to shoot the ball or look to post up or score every time down the court. He's not Al Jefferson. So I think Bagley is the guy that's going to fit more in the team concept. He's going to set better screens. He's going to play with a little bit more energy. I wish James Wiseman, because I think Wiseman has so much more potential than Bagley. I just think Bagley is the better player right now, and that's all Monty Williams cares about.
100% agree. I think the only thing that could change this is Bagley's health. I think that's the only thing that could change this at this point. The way that Cade and Bagley worked in that rookie season, and kind of when we saw them kind of play a little bit together, just in that pick and roll, he is our best screen setter. And our guards, no matter how much they try to change up the offensive swing, you need a big that can set a rock solid screen. And I think that's Bagley. Yeah, definitely Bags.
Yeah. Next up, triple doubles for Cade, 5.5.
I hate this number, and here's why.
Okay.
Triple doubles, 99 times out of 100, that means you got double digits in points, assists, and rebounds.
Mm-hmm.
Cade should be he's going to get that in points every single night. Assists most nights. Rebounds, if you look at who he's in the lineup with, Jalen Duren, Isaiah Stewart, Asar Thompson, he may be the fourth best rebounder in his own starting lineup. I think he's going to have to really compete for rebounds to get to that triple-double mark.
I agree 100% with that. I was going to say, like, Asar Thompson is just different, man. And even I think
there's another wing on his team that's going to steal rebounds from him.
Yeah, think about it. Before, Stewart had to play in the paint underneath the rim because all the bigs got hurt. Now you have Duren and Asar, and even Killian gets into the paint and tries to rebound a little bit. It's going to be tough for him to get those 10 rebounds.
All right. Lexi?
Yeah, I'm gonna go definitely over on this. I think I'm excited just for Cade to get back in and like stay healthy, just kick ass out there. I'm ready for it. Give me way over.
Oh, all right. Cool. Sad face time.
Oh,
Total minutes for Livers.
that's like such a sad picture.
I know. I had to make up for it with the next slide. I think he's in the next slide in a healthier way.
It's about staying healthy.
You didn't use the memorial picture the Spurs used for Zach Collins.
And what I missed, I saw.
Oh the San Antonio
flag in the background.
Yeah, their Twitter account announced that they'd extended Zach Collins, and it looked like a memorial picture you'd show after someone passed away.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
so
I know they want to play him. It's just a matter of if he can stay healthy. It's not even like he's getting like reoccurring injuries. It's just like this one was an ankle. It wasn't a knee. And it's just like, goodness gracious.
All right, so
that's what's hard. I mean,
so let me do the math on that real quick. Livers is out another 4 weeks, we said? Okay, so say 65, 70, say 65 games for him conservatively. So that would be an average of just under 11 minutes a game.
Yeah, last season he played almost 1,200 minutes. But
you know what? I'm actually going to say over because I think the team still badly needs wing depth. And I don't think 11 minutes per game is too much for is too much for him because I think he's good enough. Where if he's healthy, he will be worth that playing time.
Yeah, especially what he had last year. I'm like, wait, 700 minutes is kind of a lot. No, I'll take the over on that.
Yeah, over.
All right. I hope so.
They need him. I really want to see Livers back, man.
See, there he's healthy. He's healthy in this picture. Healthy enough. Just hit a 3.
Redemption.
So games where 3 Pistons each score 20 or more points in the game. Oh, sorry.
How many times did they do this last year? Do you know?
Yeah, how many?
And that was with a busted roster.
They did it a few times, but I don't think they did it as many as 7. I think there were just a handful.
Over on this one actually.
Handful
I
of
can
games.
see a star free throwing his way. I could see Cade getting it off shots, and then I wouldn't be surprised if like Joe Harris just has a night, or if Ivy just has a night. Like I could see this. I think they have the recipe to do it. 6.5 games. I'm actually gonna go over on this one, man. I really am.
Yeah, so offensively, this is not a very well-balanced roster. Duran's not going to take too many shots. Same thing with Isaiah Stewart. Same thing with Killian Hayes. You have Cade is going to take a lot of shots. Ivy's going to come off the bench shooting. Bojan, when he gets back, he's a scorer. There's going to be 4 or 5 guys on this team that are going to take all the shots, I think, that are going to eat up all the shot attempts. So I think it's actually pretty likely that more than 3 Pistons score 20 points on 7 different occasions.
All right.
3 Pistons. I'm taking the under on this one. It's just like games. 3 Pistons go for 20 plus. I mean, hey, if it does happen, that's awesome. But yeah. Take the under.
Not feeling it right now. All right. So, okay, the phrasing of this. So, number of letters in the first name of the higher scoring head-to-head Thompson twin. So, for those of you that might not be following, I think everybody on our panel is following, but one guy has 5 letters in his name. One guy has 4. You decide who scores now.
This might be my favorite question of all the questions in this contest. And here's why. Asar, I think, is a very good bet to far surpass his brother in minutes this season. Amen is kind of, I don't want to say he's buried on the bench. He's going to play, but he's going to come off the bench. They've got veterans at guard. I think it's going to be difficult for him to get into the starting lineup. However, Amen is the natural point guard. He's going to, when he gets in the game, he's going to get more usage, more shots, more touches. So it really boils down to the guy that's going to play a lot but not get a whole lot of touches, or the guy that's going to play less but dominate the ball when he gets in. There's really no way for me to tell because we haven't seen the regular season product of either of these guys yet. I am a Pistons fan at heart. I'm going to say Asar, but I have no logical basis behind it. I think that's a great line right there. Great question, excuse me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts?
Not really on this one.
Okay. All right.
My head's pounding right now. I need to get some. I'll be right back. I'm going to grab some ibuprofen.
Okay. Oh. Got that injury. Everybody's got
let's go Asar, man. Let's go Asar.
Okay.
I feel like he has more opportunities, especially with the way he's kind of vaulted into this starting lineup. When you look at the Houston Rockets, they brought in a couple more veterans. They got Jalen Green. Let's go Asar.
All right. I haven't weighed in on too many, but yeah, I'm going that way too. All right. So games where Killian shoots 50% or above on a minimum of 6 attempts. And I have it 12.5, and I think that is more than he did last year.
I think it's actually less than what he did last year.
Oh, I'm saying 12. Really?
I'm pretty sure I looked at the data on this. I think he did that 13 times last year.
Huh. I'll have to double check. You're going to go over. You're feeling that elbow jumper.
During a season in which I think everybody across the board agreed he was the least efficient shooter of any volume shooting guard in the NBA, and he still beat that number. I don't think there's any question that he's going to beat that number this year. He has nowhere to go but up. I'm sorry, from a shooting perspective. I can't see him being worse.
Right. Okay. I'll have to check about how many times.
I'm double checking myself right now, but I'm pretty sure I saw, because I think I researched this prior.
With that many attempts. So I know there were some games, he only got 4 shots and was like 2 for 4.
Yeah, actually, yeah. So he shot 50% or better 14 times, and 13 of those games he attempted at least 6 shots.
Okay.
So he did beat this number last season.
Okay. All right. Next up. During games, 10 points, 10 rebounds, and 2 blocks. 8.5. It's basically the 2 blocks question, I think, is where it gets tricky.
No, I'm going to take the over.
What did Durant get for 36 last year, blocks wise? He averaged
over.
Yeah.
Okay, so per 36, Jalen Duren only blocked 1.3 shots last year. I don't think I think defensively is really where he needs the most improvement. I think he's a terrific rebounder, fantastic interior finisher. The block shots I think are coming, but I don't know if that's this season. So I'm gonna take the under.
All right. I'm rooting for the over. I'm sure we're all rooting for the over, but I think I'm gonna pick the over too on this one. But, all right. I just feel like he's got that. I think he's going to take somewhat of a leap, and hopefully it'll be from the defensive end.
Yeah. And everybody, make sure you get to the Detroit Pistons forum and get this thing done, especially before the game starts.
Yep, got to get in before the game starts.
Yeah,
we're almost
down about 4 minutes here.
Oh, okay. Then we're in the home stretch here. So Pistons, who average 20 points per game for the season. 20 game minimum.
You got the right picture.
Yeah. Is anybody joining him in the picture?
Okay. So everyone is going to stay under, I assume, because, well, for that reason. But I think there's an outside chance Bojan returns for a handful of games in a short time span, averages over 20 points, and then gets traded. I'd give that about a 25% chance of happening. But that 25 isn't good enough for me to bet on it, so under.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, the one person in the photograph is.
Right. Okay. It's all Kate.
Because last year he had, 19.9. It could have gotten to 20. If it's him and Bojan, I could see them doing it. Okay. But I just don't know how much Bojan's going to play. And I just, for whatever reason, feel like it's best for the Pistons, though I like Bojan, to potentially trade him by the deadline if he's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, over a whole season, I don't think there's any shot Bojan would average 20.
All right. Total points per game average for Bagley and Wiseman combined. So both of them on their own last year did average double-digit scoring, but they
started almost every single game, though. Both of them did. And this season, one of them is not even going to play probably. So I would be comfortable on the under on this.
Yeah.
Like if you look at their numbers, it's comical. They both started like 90% of their games last year. It's crazy.
Yeah, I got to go under on that one.
Yeah, it's pretty high.
Okay, moving on. The bonus question. Okay, will Joe Harris break the jersey number 31 curse and average more points per game than any of the past few guys that have been? So these are their averages as Pistons. Darko averaged 1.6 points per game his whole time. Charlie did have one double digit, I think at least one where he did average over double digits, but then through the rest of his Pistons career, that came down 9.5.
Bro.
Ron Butler
wounds, JD.
under 6, Henson under 7.
This is a painful picture to look at.
It's the number 31, man.
God, man, what a depressing way to go into the season.
I was kind of depressed that he took that number, but so is he going to average?
He's got to break it. He's got to break it.
A week ago, I would have said hell no to this. Now I'm just gonna say no. Like it's a soft no. It's not like I could see Joe Harris averaging 10 points a game this season if things break right for him. But I don't think there's a better than 50-50 chance of that. So I'm still gonna say under, but I think Harris's role will be much bigger than anyone thought it would be.
All right. And that's a 20-point question, people. So think hard on that. And the last one is the tiebreaker if we should have a tie. And I think we have one of these years. What will the Pistons, what is their draft slot going to be? If they somehow trade the pick, it's still going to be whatever pick the team they traded it to will be. So that's the tiebreaker. And if you want to weigh in on that, you can, or we can just leave that for the contest folks to make their own decisions on.
I want to hear what Keith has to say about this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really do.
Well, all right. So if you guys want to try to pin me down on a prediction, I'm gonna somewhere between 15 and 16. I think they will be. I'm going to predict that they will be one of the best teams not to make the play-in.
I was
Actually, you know what? That wouldn't be 15 or 16 though.
That'd be a lottery pick.
That would be 12 or 13.
Yeah, I was gonna say 13.
Okay, so I'm gonna amend that. I'm gonna say 12 or 13. I still think they will be one of the best teams not to make the play-in. My math was off.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So now we have 2.5 hours to get in there, get your entry in. Hopefully Brandon and Lexi join the fun. You can win two tickets.
Got it all done here.
Next year's
Yeah, I got mine filled out.
Okay, nice.
I'm gonna send it to you, JD. I gotta run the heavyweight soon.
Hey, I appreciate you having us on, and everybody that was able to join us, and hopefully a lot of people are entering the contest, and hopefully I beat all your asses. There we go.
I'm gonna be the champ.
Shout out some of our regulars too, man. PD Mac, Broder, saw Jalen in here, Allen, Chuck, Mr. Jones. I guess it's a lot of the guys in here, man. 411, I see you, man. I'm trying to go back and make sure I talk to our guys, Mr. Ray. These are people who support. These people, whether they agree with us or they disagree with us, they support, and they've been largely respectful about it as well. And so there's no value you can place on that, especially in kind of the field that we're in. So I appreciate you all and the support. JD, thank you for putting this together. Lexi, it was good to see you. It's great to see you.
I'm glad I got to make it this time. So.
It's awesome. And Keith, I keep saying this, you are a gem, bro. You're a gem. Keep doing what you're doing. I am grateful every time you grace us with your presence here. And we got to make this a more regular occurrence. You're just a wealth of knowledge, not just from the bad boys, but in terms of basketball in general. You got a mind on you, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very much.
I love doing this every year. This is fun. I'm looking forward to doing this on a more regular basis.
Any last words, JD, before we sign off? This was
beat the heat.
Beat the heat.
That's a word. Hey, look, guys.
Hashtag culture.
Stay tapped in because I'm going to try and stay connected with JD so that we can kind of do some more prop ones like weekly during the season. So if you miss out on this, at least you can get in on some of the fun that way as well. I like doing this stuff. It actually gets me really, really, really geeked for the season. I hope, Keith, I really hope that this team goes out there and that this core shows a little something because Orlando, they basically had their young core. That's what they kind of. I sense what you want to see the Pistons do is something similar to what Orlando did last year.
Yeah, exactly. A season like what they did last year would be perfect.
Yeah, they were a fun team to watch.
Yeah. Well, thank you all. I'm gonna sign off now. Got to go jump on with heavyweights and try and convince Easy that Jade and I be coming off the bench is not the end of the world, and it doesn't mean that he doesn't fit with Cade.
Tell him to chill. Tell him I said that.
So dope. Look, we're gonna do this again in the future. I love this stuff, man. And Table Talks will be coming back. Just trying to figure out what time slot works best. And I'm thinking about shaking it up a little bit. Shout out to Sean as well. He couldn't be on this one, so I definitely want to make sure we shout him out. He said he will be on future ones. He just had a little bit of scheduling conflict today. So, all right. If nobody else has any last words, I'll shut it down.
All right. Thanks again.
Until next time, y'all.
All right.